Well, here's one I never thought I'd do, folks. Robbie Williams. That's Robbie, not Robin. Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever be talking about Robbie on here, but I've got to confess, I've seen the first of his Netflix series. I think it's one of 4. The wife wanted to watch it, so I'm there anyway. I might as well. I've never been a lover of Robbie's, I must admit. I've not. It's not really my kind of music. I know he's got a massive fan base, but not my kind of music. But I've got to say, after watching the video, I knew what it was all going to be about because I'd read about it and whatever else. And, you know, all I'd take from the first thing is he was very open, the first show. Very, very honest. Certainly living a lovely life in a lovely part of the world. He's done very well for himself, the young boy from Stoke. You know, hats off to him, I suppose. But that said, you realise for all he's done really, really well and got potloads of money, he's living with lots and lots of demons. He struggles sleeping. He struggles with his mental health. You know, there's sometimes things to be said for not having a lot and not having a conscience or anything that keeps you up at night. Somebody who can just count sheep and go to sleep no problem, and who, when they are in the waking hours, don't have any issues in the mind here. You know, maybe these days, weeks and months that Robbie would prefer to swap everything for that. He's coming through it a bit at the moment. But no, I've never liked him. I've never really been a fan, as I say. But it was well worth watching. And he did come across pretty well, to be honest with you. I've got to admit it. I mean, I don't like to admit it, but I've got to admit it. He come across okay, he did. I mean, and I will say, I've always thought he's not the most talented boy in the world, which is why I've never really been a lover. And I hate people, as I've said it many times in the past, that don't just make coin, but make serious coin without a lot of talent. But that said, there's been people that have made as much and more. I mean, I know he's always had these running arguments with Noel and Liam, especially Liam. I know they were friendly at one time, and then they fell out with him. I don't think he did anything wrong. They just wanted to call him in the press. They got big like he was, and they felt that they could call him, get some extra column inches, and build on their notoriety. You know, they used to rob houses, they used to do drugs and all that. I mean, they needed to build on something. They needed to build that brand up, because as I've always said, I don't think Oasis have got much talent. Some of you do, of course you do, but I don't. You know, and I will say, and out of the two, Oasis or Williams, it should be Oasis alike, 'cause I'm into proper music, live music, people who can play instruments, and I like bands more than single singers, as a rule, single performers. But I've got to say, I think Williams has got more talent than both of them. He's not the world's greatest singer, but he can carry a tune. He has done some pretty good songs, don't get me wrong, although I'm not a lover of these. He has relied on, is it Guy Chambers, massively. Without Mr. Chambers, I think we wouldn't have heard of Williams over the last 10 years now. I don't think we'd have heard of him at all. And at least Gallagher writes his own stuff. Not that it's stuff I like, but he writes his own stuff. But Williams, no, more so it's been Chambers, so he's needed him. But when you consider all the demons he's had, all the problems he's had, the fact that he was thrown into the limelight at such a young age, in such a pressure cooker, and everything thrown at him, and working probably 20 hours a day, nearly gone through breakdowns and had drink and drug addictions, I think you've got to say he's done pretty well to come out the other end. What I will say is that, is he 50 or 51? He looks 65. Good God, he does, you know. I'm pleased he's not gone down the what's-it route of doing the old turkey teeth. He's not done that because he could afford it. His teeth are as bad as mine. They're all yellow and whatever else now. As I say, I brush all the time. I look after mine. Mine are all crossed. He's aren't crossed as bad, but he's ill. I think it's probably the smoking with himself and whatever. He's been a massive, massive smoker, but he looks extremely lined, really ruggedly skinned. I mean, you'd think he'd been acting in about 20 westerns with Charles Bronson or James Coburn, but no. He's just been singing on stage, nightly and whatever else. No sun out or anything like that, but he has got himself that ruddy skin. He doesn't look great age-wise. He's definitely not aging well. But, as I say, well, mind you, he's not sleeping, is he? When you're not sleeping, that certainly doesn't help. But as I say, that said, I quite enjoyed the documentary, the part I've seen, and I will watch the other 3 parts. And what I'll probably do when I've seen them all, I'll just let you know what I think on here. But yeah, it was pretty entertaining. So I would suggest fans or fellows, folks, if you've not watched it and you're looking for something to watch, it's probably well worth it. And I think many of you might get a lot from it. I've not really given away all the plot, have I? I think we know a fair bit about Robbie anyway. He's in the Babes enough. We see enough of him. And when he's not there, he's on This Morning, or he's always on Loose Women. His wife was a regular standing dish on there for a while, wasn't she? Anyway, that's it from me on this one.